Namaste everyone. Welcome to Prepare with Lakshmi. I have again put up the introduction part of Sylvia Plath here as a revision slide. The Colossus. The Colossus and Other Poems is a poetry collection first published in 1960. It is the only volume of poetry by Plath that was published before her death in 1963. The summary of the Colossus is, it takes us through a day in the life of a person who spends her time taking care of a huge shattered statue, which was understood to be her father. She wanted to repair the statue so that she can talk to him again. She stays in the ear at night to protect herself from wind, and she says, "No longer I listen for the scrape of the keel on the blank stones," meaning she no longer bothers to listen to the small boards scraping against the keel along the blank stones because she is stuck with the statue. The poem is written in free verse. There is no rhyme scheme. The poem has 6 stanzas of 5 lines each. The literary devices used in the poem are simile, alliteration, imagery, metaphor, onomatopoeia, and allusions to the Oresteia, the Colossus, and the Roman Forum. Let us move on to the poem. I will read the stanza first and then will explain the poem briefly. I have highlighted the keywords for you so that you can remember this poem easily. I shall never get you put together entirely, pieced, glued and properly jointed. Mule brave, pig grunt and body cackles proceed from your great lips. It's worse than a barnyard. Now here, the statue is shattered and the speaker is saying she would never be able to put it together. She pieced it, glued it and properly jointed it. And then she goes on to say, mule brays and pig grunts and body cackles, these are all kinds of sounds emitted from the great lips of the statue, which are worse than a barnyard. A barn is where the animals are sheltered. So these sounds coming out of the great lips are worse than that coming out of a barnyard. In the second stanza, perhaps you consider yourself an oracle, mouthpiece of the dead or of some god or other. 30 years now I have labored to dredge the silt from your throat. I am none the wiser. She goes on to say that perhaps the statue considers itself an oracle. An oracle of Delphi is a priestess who predicts future. This statue considers itself as an oracle or mouthpiece of the dead or of some god or other. Then she says she has spent 30 years laboring, means slaving away, to dredge the silt from its throat, but still it has not made her any wiser. Scaling little ladders with glue pots and pails of Lysol, I crawl like an ant in mourning over the weedy acres of your brow to mend the immense skull plates and clear the bald white tumuli of your eyes. The speaker climbs ladders carrying glue pots and Lysol. Here Lysol is a cleaning product. Okay, like an ant in mourning. Over, where does she go? Over the weedy acres of your brow. That means the large areas of the eyebrows. What does she do over there? To mending the immense huge skull plates and clear the bald white tumuli. Tumuli means mounds of graves. Okay, she compares the eyes with the tumuli, mounds of graves. She says she goes up on the ladders to clean them, to mend the skull plates and clearing the white mounds of graves from its eyes. A blue sky out of the Oresteia arches above us. O Father, all by yourself, you are pithy and historical as the Roman Forum. I open my lunch on a hill of black cypress. Your fluted bones and acanthine hair are littered in their old anarchy to the horizon line. Now, above the speaker and statue sits a blue sky. one as if out of a Greek tragedy. She notices that her father seems petty and in ruins like the Roman Forum. Once she has finished her climb, she eats her lunch on a hill of black cypress. The statue's bones and hair are thrown about to the horizon line in a wild manner. She notes not even a powerful lightning strike could create this type of disaster. It would take more than a lightning stroke to create such a ruin. Nights, I squat in the cornucopia of your left ear, out of the wind, counting the red stars and those of plum color. Now, during the nights, the speaker squats in the statue's left ear to protect herself from the wind. What does she do sitting there? She amuses herself by counting the stars which are red and plum in color. The sun rises under the pillar of your tongue. My hours are married to shadow. No longer do I listen for the scrape of a heel on the blank stones of the landing. Now, she says in the early morning, the sun rises under the pillar of the statue's tongue. And all the time, the speaker's hours are married to a shadow. She is stuck with the statue. And she no longer bothers to listen to the sound of a small board scraping against the stones of the landing. I hope this was useful to you. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to meeting you in my next poem of Sylvia Plath. Have a wonderful day. Bye.